everyone. Good morning and happy Tuesday. It's Taylor here and it's time for tea time. So I'm glad you're here today. Let me know that you're hopping on. Leave me a comment, say hello. What's going on in your neck of the woods? I would love to hear from everybody as you are tuning in today. I'm going to pull up my comments here so I can say hi to people as you are joining in. And yeah, it's been really hot around here lately. So in the 90s again today and yesterday. So we are getting into, usually we wait until July, I feel like, to get into the 90s and the really hot and humid weather. But we're almost there. It's almost July. Can you believe it? I also feel like the days are just going by so quickly this summer. The kids have camps about every day or some kind of practice or event or something that they're at. So a lot of times John and I feel like the taxi, but it makes the days go by really quickly. So we had a beautiful weekend here, but I do want to mention, I know we've gotten some of you that have reached out with concern for Iowa. Once again, our friends up in the northwestern part of Iowa have been hit really hard with flooding and just such devastation to a lot of the smaller communities up there. If you're not aware, there was a levee that broke and flooded through many towns in the northwest Iowa area. And we are originally from northwest Iowa, so we have a lot of friends and family up there, and the pictures and the stories and everything coming from that area sounds just really horrible and a lot of loss of property. And so just our thoughts and prayers go to those in that area. I know those of you who joined in Stamp Joy last year, you probably met Betsy Veldman at our in-person event. She is the owner of the Greetery, and she and her business are located in Rock Valley, which was hit really hard. So they are doing okay. I know she posted an update on their Instagram and their blog. But a lot of people up there have not been so lucky, but all of them are in our thoughts and our prayers. So that's kind of the Mother Nature update around here. Hopefully everybody else is doing well. Super hot and humid for you guys. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for your thoughts and prayers for your home state of Iowa. Hi, Paula. Hello, Susan. Good morning. Hi, Marilyn from Southern California. Amy out in Hawaii. Hi, Betty. Very hot in Maryland. Yes, it's that time of year. Deneen says hot in South Kansas City today. Yes, it is super hot and humid, which also usually means mosquitoes. That's my least favorite thing about humidity, is it usually brings the mosquitoes with it. So hopefully they stay away from me. Typically, I have not been known to be very sweet. I always say some of my kids are really sweet because the bugs like to get them. But thankfully, I get a few mosquito bites, and that is enough for me. I'm not too sweet. Good morning, Dawn. Hello, Karen. Hi, Shirley and Sue. It's hot in Texas. Good morning from Minnesota. Heat warnings in St. Louis. So it sounds like it's pretty much across the country, unless you maybe live on the ocean where you get a nice ocean breeze in. It could be hot for you today. So yeah, thank you again for tuning in today. It is the last Tuesday of the month, which means it's time for a new kit. And I hope you guys are excited about this one. I certainly am. I am, as we are talking about bugs, we have a kit featuring ladybugs for this last Tuesday in June. So I'm excited to show you our Hey Lady Cardmaking kit. It launched this morning at 9 o'clock. So raise your hand if you already secured yours, checked out with your cart. I know some of you like to wait until the live so that you can see what products are being used and some of the design team samples that might inspire you in different ways to click that add to cart button. So if you're waiting to check out until after the live, then you are in for a treat as well, because they have lots of cool and cute projects using products that are already in our catalog and go so well with the ladybugs. So should we take a look? What do you think? I got lots of hands raised for getting your kit all ready today. So let's get to showing you the inspiration first, and then we're going to move some of that out of the way and get to sharing the actual kit contents with you. So I am super excited. I'll kind of move these across the screen and out of the way as we go. And look at those cute little ladies. So many different ways you can explore the designs with this kit, which is what I love about a lot of the product design, is that we try to think of so many different ways that you can use it. So you can cut these ladybugs out, you can put them in some foiled scenes, which you'll be seeing a little bit later as we talk about a new foilet that coordinates with this. And I haven't mentioned yet, but you probably guessed Heather Nichols designed this adorable kit. It kind of fits in with a theme that we've been exploring with kits that she's designed for a little while now. We have bees, and we have dragonflies, and we have butterflies, and now we have ladybugs. So I'm gonna show you lots of this inspiration as we look through the contents of the kit. But first, let's take a look at the kit itself. It is called Hey Lady. I'm gonna put a picture up here on the screen so you can see. It is $65 for all of the contents in this kit. It's built around the background stamp and stencil combo, and then you have the dies to cut out the ladybugs and some extra flower dies and stamps as well. So let's go through everything. I love Stacy says, "Hey lady." Yes, I do love the name of this kit, and super fun. As always, it comes in the vinyl pouch with the sticker label. If you want to store it that way, you are welcome to. And as I mentioned, all starts with this Hey Lady stamp and stencil combo. So let's open this up and take a look at the pieces in here. So the background stamp is a traditional size background. This is designed to stamp the bodies and the antenna for the ladybugs. So it does not stamp the spots. The reason for that, we moved the spots to a stencil layer so that you don't have to blend over the top of your black ink. So if we had made the spots part of the stamp, you would have to blend the red over the top of them, or whatever color you chose for your ladybugs. And sometimes, no matter how well you do with your inking, you would either have to heat set it or emboss it to really ensure that there would be no bleeding of the black ink. And so for that reason, we decided to move it to a stencil layer so you get the best results, as well as you have some other options for you when you have a stencil layer. You can apply glitter paste through it. You can put glitter grab and black foil if you want shiny black dots. So there are some other reasons why it's also beneficial to have the spots as a stencil layer. So you will only find the bodies and the antenna on the stamp, and you will do that step first. So first stamp your bodies and your antenna in the black ink, and then you have the 4 layers of the stencil. They are labeled for you, 1, 2, 3, and 4. On this first layer will be the bodies, and there are etch markings for the antenna. If you can kind of see those as I get it up to the light, you will line up those bodies using the antennas that are etched onto the stencil itself. It shouldn't be too hard to just take that, and it kind of falls right into place when you place it on there. You'll see when we use it a little bit later. Now layer 2 of the stencil starts to fill in those flowers within the background. So if you want to create that all over fun pattern, almost like your own pattern paper, you would continue with layer 2 of the stencil, again lining that up using the etched antenna that are on that stencil layer. Then you are going to put the dots on the flowers. So when you choose your flower color, these dots are going to fall in the center of the flowers, and you'll want to choose a color that is kind of a companion to the flower color. So choose your lighter color for the flowers and then your darker companion for the flower centers. So just a little tip there. And then the last layer, as I mentioned, these are the spots for the ladybugs. So that would traditionally be done in black, or you could do some fun things with glitter paste and foil, as I mentioned. So there you have it. That is the stamp and stencil combo called Hey Lady. Now let's show you the dies that go with that. We have our Hey Lady coordinating dies, and this is actually a two-part set of dies. So you have the dies that cut out all of the ladybugs, and then you have these extra dies off to the side. These are flower dies that match the style of the flowers in the stencil, but are not designed to cut out the stenciled flowers. So we wanted this pattern to be really nice and tight and give you this pretty kind of overall design, but that did mean that there was not enough space between all of the elements to cut out the flowers in the background for this particular stamp. So instead of cutting out your stenciled flowers, you can cut out additional flowers from cardstock, and then you've got little flower centers. So you can really play with lots of different color combo options for the die cut flowers. You can even pop those die cut flowers over the top of your patterned or your stenciled flowers that are in the pattern background. Lots of options there, but I want to make sure everybody knows that you will not be able to take this flower and line it up and cut out the flowers in the background. It's not sized to do that. So save yourself, save yourself the trying, and just cut those out of whatever cardstock color that you desire. Then in the kit, we have our Happy Trails stamp, and this is a clear stamp. It has the trail in it for the ladybug, along with some of those similar style flowers that you can pop in and around depending on your layout, and a couple of hearts. I'm going to be using the smaller heart in my project that we'll create together later today. So a little clear stamp that goes with those. Then we have our Hey Lady Insiders panels, and we went with 6 different ones. Let me pull them out because there are lots of different occasions that these will be great for, with the whole theme of ladybugs. So we have Welcome to the World, Little Love Bug, cute for a baby card. Then we have Rain or Shine, You're Always on My Mind. Hope your day is filled with all the things, both big and small, that bring you joy. It's a great one for a birthday or a just because card. Then we have To My Favorite Lady on Your Birthday. I think that's fun. And then Sending You Love and Bugs on Your Birthday. Did I get through all? Oh, one more. Hey lady, I miss you. Let's catch up soon. So those are the 6 different panels in the insiders. These are in the kit, but they are also available separately if you want extras of those. So you get 2 each of those 6 different sentiments that I shared with you. And then only in the kit, we have our Hey Lady inspiration cards. So there are 4 of these pre-printed cards that give you inspiration from the design team, along with color combo ideas and a picture of their projects. So you can store those with your kit ingredients and go about that route. Let's see, are the flower dies sized to cut out the acrylic stamp or the clear stamp flowers? I don't believe they are, but I bet you could finagle that if you wanted to do a drop-in die cut. So they are about the same size as these, so you may not be able to line up the exact stamp with the die, but you could drop in your die cut and stamp it that way. So worth a try on the acrylic stamps, but not with the background stenciled portion. Okay, so let's move this out of the way then. There is your kit, Hey Lady kit. And let's talk about some of the extras that you can get outside of the kit if you choose. We have our Hey Lady mini strips. So this is available apart from the kit. If you want to purchase the coordinating die, you don't have that yet. We have a couple different options for mini strips dies with different ends on them. They either cut straight edges or they cut flagged edges on our mini strips. Actually, I think we maybe have asymmetrical mini strips too. So lots of options for cutting these out, but fun little sentiments in here. Hey lady, you're awesome. Sorry to bug you. Welcome little bug. Just wanted to say that you can add to, just wanted to say happy birthday little lady. Some of these kind of pair together well. Sorry to bug you. Just wanted to say happy birthday little lady. There's also you're cute as a bug. Enjoy the little things. Heard you caught a bug. So 10 different sentiments in there that make this one really great to add on to your kit. Then we have our foilet ladybug scenes. So I'm going to open these up and show you guys what these look like. So these are toner printed cards so that you can foil them with your Mink and either Deco Foil or TE Fun Foil. And you get 3 each of the 4 different little scenes that are printed for you. So you can color these if you choose. You can blend them. I will show you samples of designers that did it both ways. If you don't like coloring, I'll show you how to get a nice blend. The openings are so nice and big that it's not too difficult to color these in, and it looks really nice and smooth even if you don't prefer to do blending. Then we have this one that's kind of the Monstera leaves. This one comes in one pattern that has some solid leaves and another that doesn't have solid leaves. Really, really pretty in our green TE Fun Foil. I think we called it Lime Zest Fun Foil. So a lot of the designers were using that. And then the last one is another flower. So you get kind of 2 flower scenes and 2 leaf scenes. And you can use those without the ladybugs too, which I'll show you here in just a second. So that's the foilet ladybug scenes sold outside of the kit. Then we have our Hey Lady envelope seals, and there are 10 of them in this pack. We have 5 of this design and 5 of the other design. And again, a pack of 10, and they're sold outside of the kit. So if you want to grab those, you can use those on your coordinating or to coordinate your envelope with your card. Pop that back in there. All right, then let's talk about our last little thing that we kind of started this when we launched our patriotic release, and these are ink bundles. So we've decided to offer these, especially for those customers who are kind of building their ink collections or maybe want to try some different curated ink color combinations that we offer. And so we put together this combo specifically for the Ladybug kit. You have your Oreo for the bodies and the antenna and the spots. Then we have the watermelon for the traditional Ladybug wings, and then confetti cake and blue raspberry for the 2 flower layers. So you can pick these up in either the full-size bundle or the mini ink cube bundle if you're looking for a great way to start collecting TE inks and you grabbed this kit, then this might be a good opportunity to grab inks that you know you will love. So speaking of inks and that color combo, I'm going to start with these 2 cards because these feature the color combo that I just talked about. The watermelon on the Ladybug wings, and then we have the Oreo for the black, and then confetti cake is in the background here, blue raspberry in the flower centers, and on my bucket down here. This card here is the one we're going to be creating on the live today, so I'll be sharing more details about the fun background that I did. I used those extra flowers that are in the die set to create that, and bringing back our fun pocket from our For Him release. There are just so many things you can put in this pocket. I feel like I just want to keep bringing it back for all the releases. So there we go. Let's show you some more inspiration here. I want to show you several that are created using the background as a full patterned piece. So here are just a few of those, and you can see the design was stamped and then stenciled. I love the different color combinations. So this one is from Jill, and she managed a full rainbow on this fun background. So her ladybugs ended up the red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, and then she added the purple in for the flowers. So I think that is super fun. I love it. And then this one, I thought it was kind of interesting. So typically ladybugs would have the black spots, but Emily added black flowers here and then put red spots on her pink ladybug bodies or wings. And I think that turned out so, so cute. And then that background stamp is our checking in background that she embossed with white embossing powder onto lollipop cardstock, which I think is a fun addition as well. I don't know, those gingham and check patterns, they kind of bring about picnic, ladybug, outdoor vibes for me. So I think that's a fun background to combine with this kit. Then we have this one from Heather where she used the background. Love her color combination. That's the one I showed you earlier on the inspiration card that you get in your kit. So you'll have this inspiration at your fingertips with the colors that she used. And she did what I mentioned here and die cut some of those flowers in the same cardstock colors, popped them up on the background, and she also put glitter paste through those the dot stencils, so you get sparkly dots, which I think is cute as well. So there's that one. Let's talk about this one from Jen. Jen Schultz also used it as a full background. She did a really light blend on her ladybugs and an unexpected blue dot, which I think is fun and whimsical. And the big hello sentiment just kind of sets that all off as a really pretty and cutesy hello card for the summertime. Trying to keep up with all the questions here as they're coming in. Let's see. Let's see. Lala is asking about watching the exclusive class tomorrow with the mini mag. So that promotion is over, and if you have received your order with the mini mag in it, then it tells you how to access the class when we teach that tomorrow. And if you missed out on that, then hopefully that's something we can continue to do in the future. Everybody seemed to enjoy that idea, and I'm excited for the little party tomorrow, whoever is coming. So yeah. All right, another one from Jen. Love it how she used those postage stamp stacklets. We have our tropical leaves dies, which are great with the ladybugs as well. Just wanted to say some buggy loves you. I think that one turned out cute. And then I decided to take my ladybugs and combine them with the bees that were previously released. So we were doing a little bit of brainstorming here, and Sue, who works up here in product development, she said, what about Hey Lady, what's the buzz? And I thought that would be so cute. So I actually did part of the card with the Hey Lady and then cut the bottom with the bees. So I have kind of two different pattern papers with the Hey Lady buzzing by to say hi. And then I popped up one of the bees and one of the ladybugs on each part. So this is actually a layout that you can create with our all planned out die set. That was a 100+ freebie a few months ago, so you may have that one, but it is going to be coming out soon in one of our second chance throwbacks. All right, let's look at another product that you could combine with your ladybugs. This is the Layer It Sunflower die that Emily used, and again, she used that checking in background to get that fun gingham pattern. This one is just really simple and super, super cute. All right, let's check out a couple more of Heather's here. I love how she took all of those flowers and die cut them, put the flower centers, and created her own little pattern at the bottom of this piercing plate. So this is, I believe it's called Swirls and Twirls piercing plate, or maybe it's just Swirls piercing plate. But it creates really fun background that kind of looks like ladybug trails. I think it was released with leaves, kind of like a blowing leaves in the fall, but it looks really fun with this particular kit. If I can get it up to the light just right, you can see the design in that piercing plate in the back. And then of course, Heather added on a couple of her signature tags that would be cute, tied around a little baby gift or just something, so a little cute treat or something in the summer. So there you go. Those are Heather's projects. Then one more here from Lori, and then I want to show you the foilet projects. So I love that Lori took this little mason jar that we released a few weeks back with our patriotic release, and she put some of the ladybugs in it. I thought the sentiment, heard you caught a bug, would be really cute with the mason jar too, so that you could kind of catch your bugs in the mason jar and then use that sentiment. Lori used white on white to create those flowers in the background, so it's actually a white background with white die cut flowers and white die cut centers. And then she just placed those around to create a really fun textured background. And again, that checking in background stamp making an appearance as she stamped the lid to the jar. Love that. Then somebody's asking about Jill's ladybugs. What stamp did she do the bodies in? So to me, I believe Jill, well, she often writes it in here. She did not this time. I believe that looks like mushroom to me. Jill uses mushroom a lot. It could be, Earl Grey might be a little bit dark, and it doesn't look like oyster to me. So I'm gonna go with the educated guess of mushroom for the color that Jill used to stamp those bodies and do the dots. So a little bit less of a pop than black, but really kind of fun, and lets those rainbows, the rainbow bodies or wings, kind of do the talking on this card. All right, now let's take a look at some of those with the foilet design. So we have this one here, and let's see, who did this one? Lori did this one. I should have known. It's beautifully colored with Olo markers, and Lori actually texted me as she was creating this, just saying how much she loved the fact that these were big open spaces, and the Olo markers really cover so smoothly and so quickly in a large area with that special ink flow that they have. And so she really just laid one color down on this paper to give that panel some color. Without a lot of blending. So even if you don't love to blend your colors, you can get really nice, pretty background by just laying down that initial one color on the flowers, leaves, and in the background. She actually colored her whole background with a lighter blue marker. Then we have this one, and this one I believe was a Jill card, and she created a fun little shaker using our clay flower shaker bits, which look really cute with this leafy pattern, and that's our lime zest fun foil with the die cut butterflies within the shaker and kind of popped up on the outside too. I love that pattern. She also used a marker to color in the open leaves in the background, and then the solid leaves, of course, are foiled. So super, super cute. And then I asked Susan to use the foilet pack with something other than ladybugs. So I wanted you guys to get an idea of how you could use these foil patterns with other things that you might have from TE. And so this is our beautiful butterflies die collection, and Little Bits butterflies popped in there. And then Susan did a coloring technique with blender brushes. So she used our detail blender brushes to get into the kind of flower centers areas, and then our bitty blender brushes, and maybe even our larger ones here on the bottom to blend this panel. So not everything is perfectly colored, but it gives that nice blended look so you can differentiate between the sky and the flower center and the flowers and the leaves. And I think that looks so pretty. So, so pretty. Hope you guys love all of the inspiration. Are we ready to get crafty together? Should we? Okay. Let's do it. I'm gonna grab so this is where we're heading. This is the card we're going to make today, and I'll start grabbing my supplies. We're gonna start by creating the background for this, which is just some simple tone-on-tone stamping. I love this playful plaid background. It's one that I use a lot. So when I saw the cutesy ladybugs and I was looking for something to go with them, I thought playful plaid would be perfect. Well, little did I know that it would be so perfect that the little elements in the clear stamp set fit just perfectly inside those open spaces of the plaid background. And on both of my cards, I happen to use the flowers and the hearts on this one. And then on the one that we're creating in the live, I just used the flowers. So a fun way to pull in a supply you might already have, or I can almost guarantee that you're gonna get a ton of use out of this background if you don't already have it, because it is one of my most used. So let me grab my Misty here. And again, we're gonna do some tone-on-tone stamping. So I'll be using confetti cake cardstock with confetti cake ink. I have this cut down to 4 by 5 1/4, so it's going to fit on my A2 card base when we get to that point. And I have a little bit of adhesive on the base of my Misty so that when I have this perfectly lined up here, it will ensure that my stripes are perfectly diagonal and not wonky on my paper. That's how I like to line these up, instead of putting the stamp on top of the paper where I can't see how well I have lined that up to make it straight. So then I just press down on the back of the Misty so that it picks up my paper in exactly the spot where I lined it up on the stamp. So we have confetti cake ink here, and we are going to stamp that onto the cardstock. I forgot to mention, if you guys haven't checked out our YouTube channel, then you will want to give that a look today. Mindy Egan, who was part of our video team for a while, has made a reappearance. She is going to be featuring our kits in her videos, and so definitely check out our YouTube channel where you will see Mindy taking these for a spin. I know she said she sent me her cards for me to share on the live, but sadly they did not arrive, so you're gonna have to check out YouTube to see her projects. All right. I had just one little area there that didn't get stamped, so instead of re-inking the entire stamp, I just pressed that area a little bit harder and got a good transfer on that. Okay, so that's finished. Now let's grab I'm just gonna do this with an acrylic block. It's much faster than trying to set up this little heart in my Misty, and I'm not too concerned with it being absolutely perfectly centered, so I'm just gonna grab my ink pad, make sure I get it nicely inked, and then we'll go ahead and add those hearts into each little diamond, doing my best to center them. Give it a nice press so that I get a perfect little image. And again, there are other pieces in this set. There's a flower or two that will fit inside this opening, so it's kind of fun to explore what little icons you have in your collection that might be able to give this pattern a different look. Almost there, a couple more left. All right, did I get them all? Sometimes I have to pull it up into the screen and look at it myself and make sure as well. Okay, so we'll close that. Now let's do our ladybugs. So this is what instruction hopefully you've been waiting for, is how to use that ladybug stamp and stencil combo. I have my cardstock, I have my stamp, and then I have my 4-layer stencil. However, let me just reiterate what I said earlier. The dies that come in your kit, These are all hooked together and they are designed to cut out all of these ladybugs at the same time. However, the little flowers that come in the set are designed just to cut from cardstock. So they're not designed to cut out the flowers from the background. So here's my little tip. If you know you want to cut out your ladybugs and use them in different scenes, then I personally would skip the flower layers. Because once you cut out those ladybugs, you're going to be left with some odd flowers that don't actually cut out with these dies. So there's really no reason to do all of the layers of the stencil if you're not going to use the pattern as a full piece. So what I'm going to do is show you a time saver today, and we are going to stamp, and then we're going to stencil 2 layers and die cut the ladybugs. We're going to leave the flowers off of our project because I'll be cutting out my ladybugs and not using the pattern as a whole. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going to set these aside. So I've taken layer 1 and 4, and I need to grab my Misty back here and remove my playful plaid. And we will grab the paper and the stamp under here. In this case, my paper, I did get a larger sheet of paper than the stamp, and it doesn't matter if it's perfectly aligned or centered, so I'm just going to take my stamp and place it down on the paper, and we'll go ahead and stamp that. I am using VersaFine Clear ink. This is kind of a personal preference. I feel like it gives me a really good solid black, but our Oreo is a great option too. This just happens to be on my desk here today. And the Oreo is what's in the ink bundle. The one thing I will say about the Oreo is that it is a hybrid ink, so you can use it with alcohol markers. You can also use it with watercolor because it's waterproof. So it has a lot more uses, whereas this ink, if you wanted to emboss your ladybug bodies, then you could do that by simply stamping with the VersaFine Clear and then pouring clear embossing powder over the top. And that would give you kind of glossy ladybug bodies. And I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to do the black ink. But I got a good, doesn't that look funny? It doesn't look like anything. Little pie, pieces of pie, oddly shaped, wonky pieces of pie. And yeah, but it is going to look like something really soon here. So next we're going to take, I'm going to actually, let's put this down here with a little bit of teal tape, just so it stays in place. And then we're going to take this stencil and place it over the top. I have used this so you can see that the ink kind of starts to get stuck in those etched areas, which is nice. It's not dirty, it's just more brought out for us to see those. So another way to bring those out is if you have Sharpie marker, you can color over the etchings so that you can see them better. But that's going to help me line up then the stamped antenna. You can also, this one falls into place nicely because the V of the body needs to be covered up with the stencil. So as you're lining this up, you're really just trying to cover up those black stamped parts where the wings kind of meet in the body area. Hopefully that makes sense what I'm trying to say. And I've done it again. I forgot to, did all my lining up, and then I forgot to grab the tape. So I'm gonna readjust this, and then we're gonna tape that stencil down with the teal tape. And I will grab the watermelon ink with my blender brush. Normally I have my ink stand here so that I don't have to chase my ink pad, but you guys get the idea. When you're in your craft room, use the tools you have. If you have an inkstand, it's one of the best things. Keeps me from, when I'm doing lots of stencil blending, keeps me from chasing my ink pad around. Is Whitney here to save me?
Guess what? It's hiding.
You are going to bring me my inkstand?
Yes.
Yay.
It's a necessity. I don't want you inking.
Oh, where was it hiding?
Oh, right there.
Oh, goodness. The dies were setting on top of it, and I didn't even see it. There we go. Thank you, Whitney. Okay. And another thing I'll mention, as you think about cleaning this stencil, those little pieces where the body goes into the wings, they are pointy. And whenever you have pieces that are pointy, even if they're not intricate pieces, you want to be careful not to grab those points and bend them. Sometimes when you have a rag perhaps that you're wiping with, they can get caught in there, and you just don't want to bend those pieces back, or you'll end up damaging your stencil. Okay, so there was watermelon. Let's go ahead and take that layer off, and now it's going to start to look more like ladybugs. Is there a way to foil the red part of the ladybug? Good question, Lisa. Yes, you can foil it. However, once you foil it, you would not be able to blend the black dots over the top of your red foil. So what I would suggest is you could take this stencil and you would put our glitter grab, it's called glitter grab, oops, wrong direction, and you would put that through the stencil and let it dry. It also works as a foiling paste. And so glitter grab is designed to grab your glitter, and then your glitter dries to the medium. But you can also use it as a kind of like a foiling paste. So once it dries, you can send it through your Mink machine or some heat source to apply the red foil to the glitter grab once it's dry. And then I think you could get away with maybe adding some rhinestones as the black dots, but you won't be able to ink blend on top of the foil. So hopefully that answers your question, but good idea. Some foiled ladybugs would be really cute. You also would not have to add the spots, I suppose. They still look like ladybugs without spots. So I'm taking this spots layer then, and we'll place that down. They do have the etch markings on them, but again, you can see where those spots are going to fall once you've done your layer with the red wings. And I'm going to take, this ink pad doesn't fit in the inkstand as well as the other ones that we sell, the TE branded inks, but I'm still going to use it because it saves me a little bit of chasing around my ink pad. I'm going to apply those black dots over the top. And then we can cut them all out. All right, let's pull that up then. Ta-da! Love it. So cute. Okay, now this was my time-saving tip to not do the flowers, but if you wanted to use the flowers as part of a whole background, then you would do the other 2 layers of the stencil, but we're going to cut these out because I want to use them on other layouts like this. So let me quickly wipe the surface here. Maybe. I don't see my alcohol spray, so hold just a second. spritz the surface here, and we'll wipe that off before we keep going. Okay, so now we're going to do some die cutting. We need to die cut these. We're also going to die cut our pocket from toffee cardstock. And then I will be die cutting these flowers as well from sugar cube cardstock. So let's go ahead and do the ladybugs first. I'll get my tape ready so I can tape that down. Seems like we've had a lot of discussions lately on our local Facebook pages about different types of ladybugs, and I loved that there was somebody on the Facebook fan page who was reminiscing about their father, I believe, who was an entomologist, and they grew up learning all about ladybugs. I am not well versed in ladybug types, or if we consider not the red and black ones, anything else. Is that a beetle? I am not sure, but we've been talking about those. There's some mean ladybugs. I call them ladybugs because they have spots and they look like ladybugs, but they're kind of orange instead of red, and they bite. Anybody else have those ladybugs near them? Or maybe they are beetles. Maybe I should just call them beetles and not ladybugs. But yes, if they get a hold of you, if they land on your skin, shoo them away because they bite and it hurts. Okay, so let's go ahead and punch these out, and you guys can see there. So we've got lots of ladybugs. How many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 ladybugs in various sizes that we can use on other layouts. So I'm going to set those aside. And then I don't want to waste my paper, so I'm going to take some of that leftover white paper that we did not put we did not stencil the flowers on, and I'm just going to position some of my dies inside of the areas where I think I can get an extra flower. Do I need a big one? I do need a big one. Can we get it right here? Maybe in the corner. Let's try that. All right, so let's go ahead and send, here's a couple more, just for good measure. Let's throw a couple more in there and get as many flowers as we can. Okay, Lisa says Japanese beetles, not ladybugs. All right, we got them all to pop out here. I could get some more flowers out of some other smaller areas on this leftover white paper, but I think that's all I need for my card. And I've already die cut the flower centers. I did that from blue raspberry cardstock ahead of the live. But you can see in the die set, they all come connected in the various sizes that fit with the different sizes of the flowers. So I'm going to put those in my little pinch pot over here. Okay, what else do I need to die cut? I think just the pocket. So let's do that last. Oh yes, they are. Charlie said it's the Japanese beetles that are stinky too. And if you try to get them off of you, they emit some kind of smelliness, and I don't like that either. So I'd love to see all the pretty ladybugs on the cards and not the nasty nasty beetles. I'm sure they do good things for the earth, so they can stick around, just don't bite me. Okay, so let's do our stamping on this pocket then. So on here I have, I used the trail on the pocket. So I picked out, let's see, one of these ladybugs here. And I'm just gonna kind of place it where I want it on the pocket. And then we'll take another acrylic block. I have a little bigger one that fits my clear stamp trail better. And then I stamped that with sugar cube ink. So we'll go something like this to start with. Okay, so then imagine our ladybug is here-ish. And I want a couple other little loops down at the bottom, so we'll go ahead and put this right down here. And then this one can come off the top here. So we have several different loop-de-loos on our pocket. I also probably should have done this before the white stamping, but I forgot. So I do like to give this pocket a little bit of dimension by adding some toffee ink around the outside. So I'm going to try to be a little bit lighter handed on that, on the areas that I've already stamped with the sugar cube, but getting a little bit of that dimension in there with the toffee ink around the edges just gives that pocket a little bit of extra. And I like to be extra. Okay, so clean this up. And then I think we are ready to start assembling. I might have forgotten the most important supply. So Whitney, if you're still listening and you want to pop in here, I could use your help grabbing something else. Okay, so we've got that. I did pre-stamp and emboss my sentiments from the Hey Lady mini strips. So the Hey Lady, You're Awesome is going to be one of the last things we add towards the bottom. I have this. Let's bring in my leaves. So these came from our, well, since you're here, Whitney, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yes.
Got any ideas what the name of this die set was with the leaves?
Sweet
Berry
dies.
Sweet Dies. Okay, so the Berry Sweet Dies feature the strawberries, and then they have the different leaves. And I thought these leaves looked cute with these flowers, kind of the two tones that I cut out of different colors of green. I have lime zest, cilantro, and pea pod. All right, so I need the, now I can't remember the name, press and seal, please.
Oh, press and
yes,
seal.
I forgot the press and seal. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue some of these together since I just did the die cutting ahead of the live. I like the two-toned leaves on these. I think are really fun and make them unique. So we'll just glue one edge of the die cut on one side in two different colors. So this is the lime zest and the pea pod. Now we're going to use the pea pod and the cilantro. Do I have the right? Yep. Okay. And I've got my trusty glue press here. We've got these in stock at TE. If you don't have 1 or 5 of them, I know some people travel a lot, so having an extra one for your crafty travels is nice too. We have a few of them. We have to get Sue her own glue press, I think. Whitney. Sue just started here up in our product development as an in-house project designer, and so you guys will begin seeing her projects very soon. I'm excited about that. And she needs her own glue press, I think. Okay, so let me grab my flowers then. I've got 3 leaves, which is all I need. I'm going to, since I already did the hard work of figuring out this whole layout, I'm just going to pull out the flowers that I need instead of doing all of the ones that I cut. So we have 2 mediums 1 small, 3 extra small, and 1 large. I think that looks right. So let's go with that. Grabbing a few of the dots out here and turning them the right way to make it easier for me to pick them up when I get to using my belly jelly. And then I think I just need one more for this guy. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a dot of glue to the center of each of these flowers. And then grab my pick and place tool. I guess my embelly jelly is not up here, so I'm going to use the Cadillac. The Crystal Katana is the Cadillac of pickup tools. It is a spendy tool, but we do love it around here too. So picking up those pieces and just putting them into place gives me all the flowers that I need for my little pocket layout. Almost there. All right, there we go. Okay, so when we're thinking about this pocket here, I am going to start arranging these things. Leaves first. Making sure that kind of the important part is you don't want your leaves going too far outside of the edges of your pocket, if that makes sense. All right, feeling good about that. Let's start popping in these other ones. That one, a little guy. Doing this kind of detail work while people watch is hard. So hopefully you're not scrutinizing too much of what I'm doing, because it's a lot easier to do this when you're just kind of taking your time and nobody's watching. And then this one's going to kind of overlap the pocket. This one is going to go on the pocket. And then we have this one. Okay, so before I pick up the other ones, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the ones onto the pocket that are mostly located on the pocket. The other ones are going to be adhered to the background. So kind of pop that into place there. It's like watching fish in a fish tank, somebody commented. Okay, good. I'm glad it's not like watching paint dry, because that is boring and I feel like I need to hurry because y'all might be bored watching me glue pieces together. But there are good tips to learn from just watching somebody else do things too. So maybe you'll pick up something unexpected. Okay, this one I'm going to pop up with foam tape after we do the others, and I think my layout still looks good there, so I'm going to take the pocket away, and I'm going to use the press and seal that Whitney got me to pick up these pieces. And I think I've explained, sometimes I use press and seal, sometimes I use Post-it removable labeling tape. It just kind of depends on what I'm picking up. In this case, it's lots of elements and I want to be able to see through it when I put it back down. So I am going to grab that here. Now these ones that are sitting on top of my leaves, I'm really not going to be able to glue those down by picking this up. I'm going to glue down the leaves and then I might pop a little bit of foam tape on that top one up here. But let's just pull that whole thing off. I'll grab my foam tape. I have some little, Susan leaves little bits behind for me. So I've got a little bit here. but I do not have a scissors. Did I lose my scissors? We have nothing if not millions of pairs of scissors, so I was able to find one. Okay, so we'll take a little bit of foam tape onto that white part there, and then the rest of this I'm going to cover with liquid adhesive so we can put that down right onto the card. I'm going to position that pocket. I'm not adhering it yet, just positioning it, and then I'm going to take my smaller flying ladybug. Let's remove this backer piece that we put down. Okay, pick this up, and I'm going to put my flying ladybug about where I think it's going to fit. And we can kind of move the flying ladybug around. Now I'm going to stick this down to my paper and pull this guy out as I stick the leaves down. So that press and seal really held everything in place for me, and I was just able to pull that pocket out of the design and adhere those leaves down. So now when we come in here and pull up our press and seal, I'm going to do it kind of carefully because I've already decided where I want these. So what this allows me to do is take my crystal katana, grab that flower, put a little dot down, and place it right back where I want it. And this one. And then this last little guy over here, pick that up, little dot of glue, put it right back down. Now we're going to take our ladybug and we can put some foam tape on the back of that. Need a little bit less here. Okay, so one ladybug is flying to the right, so to kind of offset that, this little lady is going to fly to the left. And if this one, I like to see everything before I commit to putting it anywhere. I want to see where this is going to go. Right like that. And then this one can kind of sit right about here. And let's put this one down too while we're at it. Oh, got some stuck to my scissors here that I can use. All right. And then this one will go right here. Okay, now we'll take some more foam tape on the back of the pocket. Let's see, that is going to be too big, so I need to cut off a little bit from the bottom. And then I think we can use this. We'll do one more here. And then I'll leave these extra little foam bits for Susan, just like she leaves them for me. We're almost there. A couple little embellishments, and then we'll be done for today. Heather has the live later this week, so it'll be fun to see what she creates. So definitely make plans to tune in for that. 10 o'clock, just like this live. 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're new here, that is our rhythm, and we would love to have you join us for our lives. I can hear the studio. All the ladies are out today to see the Hey Lady kit. Okay, Hey Lady, you're awesome. What friend doesn't need that reminder? Okay, so we're just gonna put this straight down on the pocket. I'm gonna use my liquid glue because I have a little bit of time to get it straight. Okay. Feel good about that. Now we'll do the Hey Lady. And I like to line those up with each other on the left side so they're kind of left justified on that pocket there. Okay, couple last things. I'm going to bring out my pinch pot because I have my little tag that goes on the side of the pocket, and I'll just pop that behind the pocket because the foam tape is already popping that up, and I can just push it right in the side there and press that down. And then the very last thing, we have our little trinket tray here with the rhinestones. The black rhinestones are so perfect for this kit. They fit just perfectly on those spots that are on the ladybugs. So I'm going to take my glue press, which is also perfect for this, and just dot the tiniest little dot of glue on all of these spots. And then we're going to add a little bit of bling with some black rhinestones to finish it off. We'll do the big ones first. They'll be the easiest. Just have to make sure they're facing the right direction when you put them down onto your drop of glue. That's probably the hardest part of embellishing, turning the rhinestones over. We'll go over here where I can find a couple that are right side up. All right, one more left. Here we go. All right, and then we need to put it down on our card base. I probably could have done that prior to the rhinestone embellishing, but I'll just grab my glue press here. Tape runner if you prefer. And then I have a toffee A2 top fold card base. We can adhere that down too. We did it. I'm scooting it around just a little bit to get it centered. There we go. And pick up all of my rhinestones so I don't lose any. What do you guys think? Like it? Well, I hope that was fun. I hope you have so much fun. Oh, I lost a guy here. Yeah, I hope you guys have so much fun when you get your kit, playing with it. I love to see samples on the fan page, so definitely keep uploading those. And let me say a proper farewell here. Okie dokie. Yeah, thank you for tuning in today. You can get your Hey Lady kit on the Tailored Expressions website. And just a heads up, if you are new, our kits are limited in quantity. Sometimes the individual pieces come out later, sometimes they don't. And they do tend to sell out within a couple days' time. So if this is one you're interested in, then grab that kit and it'll be on your doorstep very soon. So tune in on Thursday to see what Heather is up to, 10 o'clock Central Time, and hope to see you then.